Hello, Beaver Creek. Thanks for coming. Good to see you guys. I feel like I should explain my weird facial hair right off the bat. I am a superhero, and we all have weird facial hair. If you look at my friend Wolverine, I'm very similar to Wolverine. I'm just not from the wolf family of superhero. I am from the badger family of superhero. So I am Badgerine. Badgerine! That's my call sign right there. Badgerine! I knew I was Badgerine when I was little because all my teachers would always tell me that I was very Badgerine. And I was diagnosed with ADD when I was 36, and I realized it's a superpower, okay? It is. I am A, super annoying, okay? And B, super elusive. So I will annoy you, Badgerine, right? And then you want to kill me, but then you can't find me. And then I just come back and annoy you more, Badgerine, right? And then you just want to kill yourself. Is how that works, yeah. A lot of people ask me, does your wife like that facial hair? And no. But marriage is about compromise. And sometimes you just have to take the good with the Badgerine. I really do have ADD, but guess what? The fun doesn't end there. Both my kids have ADD too. Yay! Oh, and if that's not enough, my wife hates all of us. There are pluses and minuses to ADD. Here's one of the pluses. A lot of you guys that don't have ADD will get yelled at when your wife realizes you've zoned out of the conversation. If I zone out of the conversation, I don't get yelled at. I have ADD. All I get is, did you take your pill today? And I'm always like, nope, I forgot. I'm gonna go do that right now. And then I just never come back. Because we're good at problem solving. Here's a good example of my problem solving skills. My wife wanted an in-ground pool in our backyard. I called a construction company, get an estimate, $1,600 just to dig the hole. Does not include concrete, $1,600 for a hole. So I said, I'm gonna do the hole myself. And I put an ad on Craigslist for free dirt. And then when people showed up, I just gave them a shovel. Said you can have 12 feet of dirt from this side, but only 3.5 feet of dirt from that side. And leave a stair pattern on the 3.5. All right, whatever. There are downsides to ADD. 3 years ago, my wife and I went on our second honeymoon to a little exotic island. We went to New Orleans. Yeah, you've been there. It's nice. If you have ADD, don't go to Mardi Gras for your second honeymoon. Bad call. Lots of distractions. There were big ones, little ones, perky ones, saggy ones. Just everywhere distractions. My wife said, you look like a kid in a candy store. And I was like, I am married. I am a kid with diabetes in a candy store. She said, I don't have to worry about you because you're my soulmate. And I was like, definitely. And then she was like, why did you say definitely weird and fast with your finger like that? And I said, because when you're at the sink, I'm at the toilet, baby. And then she was like, what the hell are you talking about right now? And I was like, Badgerine. And she was like, do not Badgerine me. I am serious. What does that mean? If you're at the sink and I'm at the toilet, how does that make me your soulmate? And I was like, oh, I thought you said cellmate. We're at Mardi Gras, and I'm not focused on this conversation. I'm gonna go take another pill. I'll be right back. I try to be honest about my ADD. The other day, this guy was repeating instructions, and I said, listen up, fella. You do not have to tell me twice, okay? You need to tell me 11 to 14 times. People with ADD are always trying to be funny, and the people that we talk to usually don't think we're very funny. I made my wife laugh the other day. She said that she was late for 2 different doctor's appointments. I said, what are your doctor's appointments? She says, ophthalmologist and gynecologist. And I said, you do not want to get those mixed up. Could you imagine? That guy would be like, that is the worst case of pink eye I have ever seen. All right, I was debating that one before I. All right, I got it. The other day I was trying to be funny, and my wife did not think it was funny at all. She walks in the family room scratching herself, and she says, why am I so itchy? And I said, well, I think it's because you're pronouncing it with a silent B. Badgerine. Badgerine with the silent B. My whole life I had one rule, and that rule was if you think of something funny, you say it immediately. I lost a lot of friends with that rule. But then I got diagnosed ADD and I got put on meds, and then I would still think of funny stuff, and I'd be like, I should say that immediately. And then the meds would be like, no, you shouldn't say that at all. And I'm like, thank you, meds. This is a filter. I've heard about this. I have a filter now. I have a friend who doesn't have a filter. He's got ADD. We've all told him, and he won't get help. So half my act comes from Tim's house now. I was at Tim's house last month. His 5-year-old son, Alex, comes up to Tim. I see it all go down. Alex says, Dad, I forget. Am I awesome or am I fantastic? And Tim was like, no, buddy, you are autistic. How many times have I told you that? And he was like, 127 times. Because it's a Mersenne prime and it's 1 away from 2 to the 7th power. I'm like, that kid is autistic, first of all. I had to Google Mersenne prime. I was impressed. I don't even just have ADD, y'all. I also have dyslexia, because God was like, give him something else. And dyslexia, that is more than number and letter confusion, all right? First of all, you overthink words. Like antioxidant, that word. We all know antioxidants are good for us, right? But think about that word. Anti is a prefix. Anti means opposite of whatever word comes after it. So if antioxidants are good for us, that means normal oxidants are bad for us. And it's true, because my mom said that I was an oxidant. And oh, okay, Beaver Creek. Like I'm the only oxidant here. I get it. I see how you people are. I don't even know why I'm telling you guys all my ailments, to be quite honest. Because I don't like it when people know I'm sick. I hide it. I can hide diseases I haven't even been diagnosed with yet. Because I figure out contingency plans in case I ever do get diagnosed with those diseases later in life. Like if I ever get diagnosed with narcolepsy, where you fall asleep all the time, I'm just going to get a tattoo in my eyes on my eyelids, and then they won't know I'm asleep. And then when I wake up, I'll just be like, got it. Or if I ever get diagnosed with Parkinson's, I'm just going to carry a Splenda packet with me. And then No one will know that I have Parkinson's. They'll be like, he's had that for 2 years. I'll bet you if he rips it, all the Splenda's at the bottom by now. I'm jealous of my kids, though, because they were diagnosed with ADD early in life, and they're on meds, and their lives are great. My daughter was diagnosed at age 12, my son at age 9. I was diagnosed when my daughter was 12. I didn't know why my life sucked for a long time. In high school, I didn't know I had ADD. All I knew in high school was that I had dyslexia. And I was a stoner. That's all I knew. And that's a bad mix for a high school student to be a dyslexic stoner, because I would just stand by that free drug school zone sign. For hours. Just waiting. Jocks used to tease me for being a stoner in high school. They would say stuff like, stoners have bad memory loss. And I would be like, that's not so bad. Because how about when you go to load the bong and then you realize that it's already loaded? That was like a bonus when that goes down. But the worst part about high school were the jocks, because they would always tease me for being a stoner. They would say stuff like, stoners have bad memory loss. And I would be like, that's not so bad. Because how about when you go to load the bong, and then you realize that it's already loaded? That's like a bonus when that goes down. I had to do that joke 4 times in Birmingham, Alabama. You were like NASA engineers here at Beaver Creek. It's so nice seeing you guys. Oh, yeah, you can't smoke that stuff all the time because it will warp your perception. One time I was so wasted, I was watching this show on TV about harassment in the workplace, and there was a girl on the show who had been harassed all up in her workplace, and I was looking at her, and I was thinking, like, who would have harassed her? I know that sounds mean, I know, but like her face was all scrambled and pixelated, and her voice was like, I was sitting at my desk when a man came up from behind. I've got 2 turntables and a microphone. Intergalactic, planetary, intergalactic. Yeah. And I was looking at her and I was thinking, well, of course that guy got her from behind, right? Because her face was horrible, okay? And like, but her hair was autistic, so, you know, if I don't take my meds, I can still focus on stuff, but only on stuff that I'm interested in. If you want me to focus on something I'm not interested in and I haven't had my meds, that's not gonna work out real well. But if you want to talk to me about rock and roll, I'm right there. I don't need my meds. I love rock and roll. I know all the one-hit wonder bands. I know them all. And I know trends about rock and roll that no one else knows. Here's a trend about rock and roll that I'll bet you didn't know. The best bands in the history of rock and roll tended, okay, there are exceptions to this rule, like Aerosmith, AC/DC, Led Zeppelin, Metallica, Van Halen, and Rush. But the best bands in the history of rock and roll tended to begin with the word "the" in their name. Think about it. The Beatles, right? The Rolling Stones, The Who, The Guess Who, The Doors, The Police, The White Stripes, The Black Keys, The Red Hot Chili Peppers, The Cars, The Kinks, The Vines, The Hives, The Clash, The Jimi Hendrix Experience, The Allman Brothers, The Yardbirds, The Byrds, The Animals. There are tons of them, okay? Now, what he said. But the Monkees, sure. I miss the Monkees. I'll take the last train to Clarksville. I'll do it. But my point is, there's also this trend. The worst bands in the history of rock and roll tended, there are exceptions to this rule, but they tended to begin with the word Nickelback. Badgerine. If you listen to Nickelback on noise-canceling headphones, you don't hear anything. I've been blessed to have been doing comedy for 31 years now, and I love it. And I've gotten to work with some of the biggest names in the industry. I mean, there's one coming up right after me. I try to learn from these people. I have learned so much from working with some, and I'm not gonna, throw names out, but there was one guy that I do want to mention because he passed away in 2005, and I learned a lot from him. His name was Mitch Hedberg, and if you know him, if you know him, you're lucky, and if you don't, look him up on YouTube. You won't regret it. He was very, very funny. But I worked with him in 2001 and 2003. In 2001, he wasn't wearing glasses, and in 2003, he was wearing these dark, mirrored glasses, and you couldn't see his eyes, even if you were in the front row. But I was backstage, and I could see behind the glasses, and his eyes were closed during his entire 45-minute set. So after the show, I asked him, I said, Mitch, why do you keep your eyes closed during your entire show? He was like, I don't want to see that one guy who's sitting right up front with his arms crossed and he's not laughing at anything. So I just close my eyes and I play to where I hear the laughs are coming from in the room. And that answer took me by surprise. I actually started to think maybe I need to get a pair of dark glasses. But then I thought, I got Adderall, so if there's one dick, I can ignore one dick. But there were 0 dicks here. Everybody was awesome. I love you, Beaver Creek. And you guys were laughing a lot. Ma'am, right here, what's your name? You were laughing. Melissa, what are you guys drinking? Are you allowed to have drinks? Yeah? What are you drinking, Melissa? Just water. All right, wait staff, can I put a water on my tab for Melissa? Yeah. No, don't clap at this. I learned this trick from Bill Cosby. So you guys have been autastic. My name is Al Goodwin. Badgerine!